Hey everybody, so I'm back, and right now I am at Fort Lee in Virginia for my senior leaders course. Woo woo. And I'm getting some really great professional growth information that I wanted to share with you all, something I'd never heard of. And I think it's a fantastic tool, it's great knowledge, and it's something that's really going to enhance the NCO core for the better. So a few weeks ago, we learned about something called the NCO 2020, and I took some notes because I didn't want to lose my place or leave anything out. So I just wanted to start off with the chief of staff, his top priorities, and there are three of them. The first one is readiness, so the readiness of the Army, the force as a whole, for combat and for peacetime. Also, the future of the Army, where we're going, how we're leading, training, mentoring, developing, and everything like that for our status on active duty, reserve, National Guard, or afterwards, whether it's retirement or after, we complete our service to our country and fulfill our contracts. Also, taking care of soldiers and families. This has always been a priority to the Army, and now the Chief of Staff is putting more emphasis on it. We understand that as a force, we are only as strong as the people, to the left and right of us, and our family members are that, whether we're married or have children, or it's our parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, whomever, we love that support us during our service and after our service. That's who the Army wants to make sure that they're taken care of, because at the end of the day, as soldiers, that's who we go to for support emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So with the NCO 2020, there are 3 lines of effort, and those lines of effort are development, talent management, and stewards of the profession. So with development, you go into things such as the STEP program, counseling, the vision of the NCO Corps, NCO PD, NCO PME, and professional development system. So with the STEP program, you know that it's select, train, educate, and promote. So basically, you're selected for promotion, you train in your warrior task and battle drills, in your current MOS, you educate. So that's getting your military education as well as your civilian education, making sure that you're well versed on both sides, because we want to make sure that our NCO Corps is well versed, educated, knowledgeable, not just on the military way of doing things and military knowledge, but also educated in the civilian sector, because we have to be able to speak in both languages. Also, the promote. So once you go through the select, train, and educate, the very next step is to promote. So that's what they're looking for when they're looking for promotion. How are you standing out from your peers? How are you separating yourself from your peers? What are you doing to distinguish yourself? And how are you making yourself better, challenging yourself, and not just going with the status quo or sticking with the norms, but stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing what's going to enhance you as a soldier, as a mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, and a leader, or as a junior soldier. And so you have a few tools that I'm going to touch on right now, but I'm definitely going to make a video in more detail because I really feel like it's a great tool to use. So if you have access to AKO, they have something called ACT, and that is a phenomenal tool. I've used it for years and I still use it. I have a few mentors that are able to see my status throughout my military career and see my personal and professional goals. And I also have a few mentees that have, honored me with the position to mentor them and give them a little bit of my knowledge. So ACT, it tracks your career progression, both professional and personal education, and it allows your mentor to track your progress and provide suggestions and a career map. Now, the career map is also a fantastic tool, and I'm going to touch on that more specifically in future videos, because I want to make sure that I dedicate the right amount of time to giving you as much information on those things as possible, so I don't skip anything. And if you do have any questions, please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Also, your professional military education. So that's BLC, ALC, SLC, Master Leaders Course, and so forth. And so the Command Sergeant Major's Academy. These courses are built to help enhance our leadership in steps, because everything is a progression. So you can't go from BLC to MLC and think that you're going to have it all without the things in between. You're going to need ALC, you're going to need SLC, because in order to get to the next level, you have to go to that next step. So those are some professional education routes. Also, you know, they look for time and service, time and grade. And as I stated earlier, how you separate yourself from your peers. Are you taking on those challenging assignments, broadening assignments? Are you continuing your civilian education even if you find yourself in a challenging assignment? You know, we already know as soldiers we're able to multitask and balance a lot of things, but a lot of the times we balance the mission and we forget about ourselves, our families, our careers, and our education. So they want to see that in our evaluations, how we're handling the natural stressors of the job while continuing to enhance and better ourselves. Also with the counseling, if you're not being counseled, you need to ask to be counseled. It is your right and it is your leader's due diligence to counsel you, because in order for you to grow, in order for you to know what you need to do better, in order for you to know what you're doing great at, you have to be counseled by your leader. They're there to assess you and assess your performance. And if you're not getting counseled, then there's no way for you to tell whether you're going forward or backwards. So if you're not being counseled, I challenge you Monday, unless, you know, you're a drill sergeant like me, tomorrow, you need to get with your leadership and you need to sit down and you need to say whomever it is, if they are sergeant, staff sergeant, sergeant first class, whomever, you know, hey, I just wanted to sit down and speak with you because I would like to get counseled on my performance and what your expectations are of me. Because if they give you their expectations and you work towards meeting that, then your assessments are going to be true to time. And it's not just going to be a blanket assessment that looks like everybody else's. So make sure that you're getting counseled. And also, this is all in, you know, in the development portion. So I've only touched on the development portion of the NCO 2020. So also broadening assignments. So for example, drill sergeant. Drill sergeant is considered a broadening assignment for staff sergeants and below, staff sergeant E5. And it's great to explore, you know, the improved leader that you can become. I definitely feel like becoming a drill sergeant for me has made me a better leader, has taught me better ways to communicate, has helped me develop a great sense of patience, I must say, and allowed me to find more colorful ways to express myself and to get my point across and to be able to speak to a group of people, motivate them, you know, to accomplish one task. And as a leader, that is what we're here to do. It's to motivate somebody to complete a common task. And you also want them to do it effectively and efficiently. So you need to look at, you know, broadening assignments, operational assignments, and look at your career map, as I said before. Print it off and just take a look at what someone in your current rank should be doing. And what I always try to do myself is look at my rank and make sure I'm in line with that, right? Because you don't, like I said, everything is a progress, so you don't want to skip. But then I'm looking at the very next rank. What do I need to do in that rank? Because I'm going to do it now. I'm going to get a head start. I'm going to do what I should be doing at the next rank right now, so that when I get to that next rank, I have a couple things blocked off and I can already move on to the next rank. Because if you want to be a great leader, you need to see what it takes to be that great leader. And if you can accomplish some of those tasks as a junior NCO or even as a junior soldier, then I say go for it. You know, like I said, you have to challenge yourself so that when you become that leader, you're not overwhelmed with the responsibility and don't understand what you're getting yourself into. So if you get a few tastes of what it takes to be that leader, some of the, you know, core things that it takes, then I think that's only going to help better enhance you. Now, the stewards of the profession, that is basically being the standard bearer. You know what right looks like? You execute it and you enforce it. The Army has doctrine. We need to read the doctrine, get in the doctrine, and don't just quote your friends or your co-workers because that's what they said according to whatever. You need to hear what your friends are saying, tracking, got it. And then you need to go back and you need to look at that doctrine yourself and you need to assess it. You need to read it completely. Don't just read it a few lines in. Read, if you're looking for something specific, read the entire paragraph, because it's all encompassing. Because a lot of people find themselves looking for those few words that they were trying to quote somebody on earlier, and they skip all the meat and potatoes around it, and then they go back and correct that person, and they're half correcting. So make sure you read the doctrine. You don't have to be perfect and, like, you know, quoting it verbatim, but it is important to have that knowledge base so that you can say, hey, you know, according to AR 670-1, these are the uniform standards. These are the appearance standards. So I would, you know, challenge you to go back and take a look, and then maybe we can talk about it. You know, it's all in your approach. At the end of the day, as leaders, our job is to enforce the standards, but it's also to educate. So if you take that time to say, hey, look, you know, this is the issue. This is what the regulation states. These are the guidelines. Take a look at it, and maybe, you know, you and I can get back up, and then you let me know what issues or concerns you have with that, or if there's something that's not quite making sense. And then, you know, fellowship and talk about it. Also, 2020, from the title, NCO 2020, is supposed to be the year of the NCO. So that is basically where we as NCOs take back our position as the backbone of the Army. So it's time for us to stand up, to push back to the front of the force, to take back our roles as the NCOs and non-commissioned officers, seniors, and junior NCOs, to police up our soldiers, police up our battle buddies, enforce the standards, know our jobs, become those subject matter experts that we're known to be, and do it professionally, and do it effectively, and do it efficiently. It is not time to sit quiet anymore. It is time to take back our soldiers. It's time to get everybody up to speed. It's time to hold everybody accountable, no matter who they are. You hold them accountable. You do it professionally, of course. You use tact, and that's something it's taken me a long time to learn, I must say. But you use that tact and you use that professionalism to get your point across, because if you do that, then more people are more willing to listen to you and to hear you. So, as I said before, you know, development, talent management, and stewards of the profession. Development includes, you know, the STEP program, counseling, the vision of the NCO Corps, NCO PD, and professional development system. Talent management includes the broadening assignments, operational assignments in your career map. Those broadening assignments like IG, drill sergeant, recruiter, so forth and so on. And stewards of the profession. Get in the doctrine, self-develop, and remember that 2020 is the year of the NCO. Now, that doesn't mean that you wait until 2020 to stand up tall and, you know, bring that presence of, you know, a non-commissioned officer to the forefront again. That means that right here and right now, when you watch this video, you understand your role as a non-commissioned officer in the great United States Army. You understand your role as a leader. You understand your role as that corporal through, you know, senior non-com, and you get your soldiers. You talk to them on Monday, you pull them to the left or the right, and you tell them, look, these are the tasks at hand. These are the missions and things that we need to accomplish, wherever you work, whatever your MOS is. And you counsel them, you mentor them, you train them, and you care about them. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you now, your soldiers will fight hard for you. Your soldiers will work hard for you if they know that you care about them. So don't just take the rank and wear it and go about your business and think that, okay, I have the rank, so all I'm going to do is bark orders. Absolutely not. As a leader, yes, you're going to enforce discipline, but you're also going to be an empathetic leader. Being an empathetic leader means understanding what your soldier may be going through. And if your soldier knows that you're at least putting forth the effort to see where they're coming from, and remember that you once were a private or a specialist. I joined the Army, a fuzzy private. Might as well cut a hole right here, had no rank. I was a private. So for people like me that started as a little fuzzy patch private, or some people, you know, went to school, came in as a specialist, all that good stuff, whoop whoop. Remember that you were that lower enlisted individual that had no real knowledge base of the military, and everybody is going to need that guidance. If you're that leader that provides that guidance to those juniors, then at the end of the day, those juniors will become those leaders to guide the next generation. I train my privates and I tell them this all the time. I say, I'm training you to take my position. I'm training you to be that drill sergeant, to train the next generation of soldiers that come to defend our country. My daughter is 8. In 10 years, She'll be 18 and make whatever decision she chooses to make. And I'm making sure that if my daughter decides to serve her country in this great army, that I'm training privates that will soon be staff sergeants, sergeant first classes, warrant officers, captains. I'm training those people to lead my daughter, to care about my daughter, to train, mentor, and develop my daughter. So remember that at all times, you are not just doing this for you. NCOs, take it back. NCOs, stop being quiet. Stop just doing the easy thing. Stop taking the easy way out. It is time to stand tall, stand with that motivation, stand with that fire in our bellies, and be those NCOs. Be the backbone. Be the NCO core. That is what we need to know. We need to know that on the inside of us, that we hold the NCO core right next to our heart. That is what is inside of us. So NCO 2020 is real. NCO 2020 is what it is. So for those of you who have not gone to SLC yet, or have not gone to ALC yet, and you haven't heard of the NCO 2020, I'm here to bring it to you, because I just got this knowledge. And when I tell you right now that really put a lot of things into perspective, because I'm very, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about my job, and I'm very passionate about being a leader. But this NCO 2020 really went ahead and broke it down and put things into perspective and put it into words, not just me doing. It put it into words. We have the creeds. We quote the creeds. We say them every day. But this right here just went ahead and broke it down a little bit more and isolated some things that we need to do for ourselves and what we need to do for our soldiers, and how we need to take the reins back and be the backbone. You can't stand without a backbone. Peace.